All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome the back. So I've been seeing a lot of REIKO guides out there, but I haven't seen a lot of people play him the way I think you should. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a REIKO guide of my own out there, and hopefully you all like it. Let's get right into it. So a lot of the things that I see about REIKO are about his buttons and how good they are from a distance. And of course, that's definitely true. But while his kicks are definitely tremendously good, he also has some really good punch buttons if you know how to use them. So let's go ahead and go over that. All right, so looking at REIKO's buttons, you would automatically think he is a footsie person, which he definitely is, and we'll kind of go over that later. But one thing a lot of people don't talk about that I want to go over with you today is how to apply pressure. And what I mean by pressure is how to make your opponent have to continue blocking with REIKO, because it feels like when I first played him, people would still back their turn a lot with just kind of a down mid, right? So you want to make sure that they can't do that, and it's hard to do because a lot of his good strings, or both of his really good strings, are highs. However, he does have this here, which is a mid, and that overhead there. So the game plan that you want with REIKO is to basically make them have to start blocking, right? And the way you're going to want to do that is by keeping up your pressure. Now I know this move starts off with a high, however it does end with the mid. So usually, unless you're in like the super highest tier of the game, people aren't going to be able to micro duck that too much. They're going to get hit with that second mid, or at least have to block that second mid. That's when you go into your next string, which is your 2-1. So you start off 1-2, 2, and it is better usually to do it in the corner, but you're going to start off 1-2, 2-1, right? And so this puts you at a +2. The reason why that's pretty good is because from this distance, once you do the 1-2 and 2-1, you have that high, right? And so at this point, when you're doing this to your opponent, what they're going to want to do is duck, right? They're going to want to start ducking, and they're going to want to start punishing you. And that's when you start hitting them with the overheads. That's when you start going into like your back forward X if they just straight neutral. Because the only way to get away from this is if they neutral duck. They cannot get away from this by ducking and crouching. They're still going to be getting hit with this. They're still going to be getting this pressure of that high, right? Or anything that you throw. So as soon as they stop blocking high, you're going to start doing this. And that's what gets you into our combos. Or you're going to start doing the mid, right? And that'll get you into some of our other combos that I'll show you later. So as I was saying, as you're applying pressure, right, you're kind of doing your thing, applying pressure, making it to where they can't attack you, right? Kind of hitting them with these, keeping them guessing, right? And then you start kind of like poking around. All right, that's when you start playing footsies, and then you start using the other buttons that everybody's talking about. And yes, they're really good, but those obviously aren't his only thing. So if you're playing a footsie game, right, you poke them and you see that you end up hitting them with this. What you're gonna want to do is go into his back forward X slide and hold up. This is gonna give you your launcher. Getting used to this motion is actually not easy. It's for some reason extremely hard, or was extremely hard for me. I think it's because it's back forward X, and I kept doing like back X, as you can see me kind of still doing now. But this is just a movement that you'll have to get used to and kind of play with the settings and the controls to tune them to your advantage, right? You know, however you want to do it. But basically that's going to be, this right here is going to be your launcher for pretty much all of your combos, because it's going to combo from all of your moves can be canceled into this and are pretty much guaranteed once you get the hit. Or I'm sorry, the launcher is pretty much guaranteed once you get the hit. The reason I say pretty much is because if you hit them from max distance, you will sometimes not get the hit. Let me show you how that looks. So you see how I missed there, and that's like max distance. It only happens rarely, but I found for some reason it happened to me like a lot more often. I think like if you really get used to his max distance and you're poking the way you should be and you hit this, you know, sometimes it misses. However, you can always just like hold X. You can hold X for as long as you want and then do the knee. So you just kind of have to get used to that, doing that in the combo. My fingers, for some reason, you know, can't really do that, but I think I just did it there. So yeah, you just kind of have to get used to it. Now the thing that REIKO doesn't have is a good quote, like a good mix-up game, because he doesn't have many lows, right? He has a sweep, he has that's even a mid, he has that low, and then, you know, he has like pretty much his telegraph lows. There aren't many lows that are gonna make people want to start blocking low. He doesn't have like a high-low mix-up in any of his combos either. He has that. But it's always going to be a low. It's not a mix-up. So anytime you see this, there's no other move that he can do after that besides the low. So it's not really a mix-up, right? It's just high, low, high, mid, low. So that being said, you really want to count on the fundamentals and the basics with REIKO. You want to make sure that, like I said, you're applying pressure. You know your keyframes. You know how to apply pressure, and you know how to like make them want, because everybody wants to attack, right? Everybody wants to play the game. So eventually, they're not going to be like this bot, just perfectly blocking everything. Eventually, they're going to open up, and that's when you can start getting your combos in. And speaking of combos, let's get into the combo section. So when it comes to combos, you do have definitely a few, and I think Jax kind of extends them more, and he makes you feel like more of a grappler, because in my opinion, REIKO does not feel like a grappler. He definitely feels like a footsie god, you know, one of them at least, but he doesn't feel like a grappler. This one grapple here is kind of trash. As you can see, you kind of have to be breathing down their neck for it to happen, and if they're doing anything at all, any animations whatsoever, you cannot get this, as you can see. So it doesn't really combo into anything, except for if you do like a really long extended combo, then you can kind of get it to combo into things, but that's some really advanced stuff, and you can maybe throw it out every now and then if they're just really blocking everything, and you know what I mean, and you haven't thrown it out for a while and they don't see it coming, then maybe you can throw it out. But other than that, it's a high. So if they just neutral duck it, they're going to absolutely blow you up, either with a uppercut or, you know, whatever it may be. And now, if you didn't know, you can combo into your uppercuts now. So you really don't want to get blown up by an uppercut anymore. It does have to be a punish, and it does take 2 bars of meter, but, you know, they can still do it. So they can absolutely blow you up from an uppercut. So when you're, you know, poking around and kind of doing things and throwing out those mids, just kind of, or I'm sorry, those highs, just remember, especially if you're throwing out that a lot, that you can get very much blown up. So I don't use the grapple too much. You know, that's just my opinion. With that being said, let's continue with the combo section. So, as I said, as you're kind of poking around here, usually what you're going to want to do is go into like the knee into something, right? And if you go into the knee into Jax, you can do what I think looks like a really cool combo. Here's how it looks. So that's pretty much your bread and butter combo. So the end of that combo, the knee into everything else, is your bread and butter, because the knee goes into everything. The knee, you can go from this to the knee, from that, you know, all of your combos. Let's see. All of your combos, as you can see, go to the knee. So all of your moves can go into that combo string. That's just basically your ender. So you go back, forward there. Right, and then, you know, you get the point. So obviously, if you wanted to, you could spend the bar and get more damage, and I'll show you how that looks here. The only problem with that is not a lot of the enders actually connect really well. So as you can see with these next 2 enders, those didn't really connect too well. So, you know, I usually don't spend my bar on combos or extending the combo. The main thing you want to spend your bar on with REIKO is his wake ups and his interruptions. He has really good wake ups and interruptions. So let's kind of get into that. So let's take a look at both of his, I guess you would say, punishers, and why, and other reasons why he's so good at footsies. So one thing REIKO can do above pretty much anyone else is punish anyone who is trying to get like some long range attacks on them. There are a few characters in the game that can punish from this distance, but REIKO is definitely one of them. Alright, that way you can save your bar for like maybe if someone's trying to outzone you, you can make that a mid, because usually those are all highs. I know it looks like they're mids, which would be awesome, but usually they're all highs, so they can just duck this, but they cannot duck that because that's full of mids. So you can kind of, you know, trick people out and use your meter that way. You can use it just kind of, you don't even have to be standing up to power through things. You can power through things regardless. So you can armor through things pretty much regardless. As you can see, I have him set to do a stand 3, which is extremely strong. It's a high mid. You can armor through this, not get hit with it, and punish. So, oops, I didn't EX. If you EX, obviously. So let's EX that. So right there, as you can see, we skipped the high and then hit the low, but there is only one hit of armor. So if you mistime this, you will get hit with both hits, as you can see here. So you will get hit with both. There's only one hit of armor. You kind of have to be careful with that, but you can tank through pretty much anything. And that's at pretty much any time. So, and this has, I know it says 19 frames of startup, but it goes from across the damn map, as you can see. So you can pretty much throw that out whenever they're playing footsies or whenever they're poking and stuff like that. You can just kind of throw that out to beat whatever it is they're doing if this doesn't beat them already. So as you can see, that was getting beat. I throw that out maybe as soon as he's done. Take that first hit, like whatever you can, you know what I mean? So this is a really good footsie tool that he's going to be able to use whenever. The only thing about it is you can't get much of a combo off of it. The most you can do is have Jax come out and, you know, knock the ground, and yeah. So, you know, it does a little bit more damage, but hey, it is what it is. Now, the only reason I don't suggest doing the slide is simply this. Right? For some reason with the slide, you are up high for a very long time. Like, you run forward first and then you go to the ground. So even if you want to do it like back here, you'll still get hit with that mid, right? And you can't power through that mid. So, you know, even with the EX version, like obviously though, with the slide you can punish, and it does lead into combo damage, right? So something to keep in mind. Our combo from earlier, I don't know why I reset it there, but basically just the ender from our combo from earlier to actually come out. You get the idea. So that's one thing to keep in mind, you know what I mean? When you're kind of playing the footsie game, you can definitely combo from this. This has the armor. You see? And obviously we can do like the longer combo that I showed you earlier and things like that, but that's just like a simple punish that you can do pretty much easily, right? You just call out Jax, do back forward X, and then it's pretty much guaranteed. So you just call out, do back forward X, and then you can, you know, do things like that. However you want to end it or whatever. Quick 22%, but it's a punish, right? You could also, you know, if you wanted to, spend a bar and get like an even higher punish doing the combo we showed you from earlier, whatever the case is, but you kind of get the point, right? So REIKO is one of those characters that you're going to want to be playing footsies a lot with. You're going to be wanting to punish these people who are doing moves like this. As you can see there, we armored through the hit, got him for a tactical takedown. So it kind of depends on the situation, right? What you're dealing with. Obviously, like I said before, if you're too close, or wow, if you're too far, I mean, I guess I don't know what the fuck is the reason you're getting hit there. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. It really, I guess, depends on the timing that you start this move off. If he's able to get the mid out, then you'll probably end up taking a kick to the face. Because looked like the high and the mid came out there. So I guess it really depends on spacing and timing. There are some niche scenarios, as you've seen earlier, where it won't, or actually the armor won't matter and you'll still get hit. But for the most part, this is going to be a good punish and a good move to use. It's also a good wake up move, so if they end up, you know, knocking you down, you can usually wake up with this if they're pressing buttons and stuff like that. So with REIKO, obviously you could, you know, do the Serena thing where you do the 1-2 Serena, 1-2 Serena, and then it like extends your combo. Like, okay, cool, we get it. Anyone can do that, so if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. That is another cameo you can use with REIKO. I wanted to show you a cameo that I thought was really interesting. It makes REIKO feel like he's a grappler, because usually he doesn't feel like he's a grappler. At least not to me. Jax, get your ass out here. It's a pretty consistent combo that you do if you practice it. You know, obviously you're gonna want to head into the gym, so to speak, and get some practice in, because it does take a little bit of timing. I didn't have to burn the meter there, but yeah, it does take a little bit of timing, as you can see. You know, messed up a few times there. So, but yeah, that's what I would say is the best way to play REIKO. You're going to be applying pressure with, you know, your pretty decent buttons here, and then basically trying to get this off. And then if you're in the corner and you get this off, let's show you what happens if you're in the corner and you get that move off. So if you're in the corner and you get this here off, so as you can see, we can do some pretty insane combos in the corner, right? That wasn't even the end of the combo, and it's actually pretty insanely easy to do. Like, that timing's a little hard or whatever, but you know, you can kind of go from there. And that combo is actually in the practice menu, so if you want to practice the full combo, I can kind of show you how it's supposed to look here. So in case any of you didn't know, you can come down here to challenges, and it'll give you combos for pretty much every character, and you can kind of learn like what you should be doing with each character. It'll even give you a pretty good cameo to use with the character, which is where I got some of the ideas for these combos. I obviously didn't finish combo 7. It's ridiculous. We'll show you what it looks like in case you want to go ahead and see if you can get it done online yourself. Apparently I'm just old and I don't have the finger dexterity to do it, so hey, that's my problem, not yours. Let's show you at least how it looks. So as you can see, the combo's insane. I think I'm pressing the X when I jump too early. I think that's my problem. But you know, it is what it is. I get most of the combo. It's like 30%. I'm good with it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's REIKO, or at least how I see REIKO. Let me know if you have any combos or other ideas when it comes to like cameos and things in the comments below. I always comment back. Other than that, if you liked, leave a like, subscribe, do all the things. This has been Yahtzee Gaming. We will see you in the next one. Other than that, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out.